There's a two-way superstar in baseball, and his name is not Shohei Ohtani. In fact, it's actually the Pittsburgh Pirates' #1 overall selection in the 2023 MLB Draft. His name is Paul Skenes. He's a 21-year-old coming out of LSU, and he can hit and pitch. The only two successful two-way players that we've seen in the past 100 years have been Babe Ruth and Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani has dominated the sport as the best hitter in baseball and a solid pitcher in the rotation. What he's been able to do has been simply remarkable to watch, but there have definitely been wrinkles along the way for Ohtani. He had to deal with Tommy John surgery in 2018, and this year had to get an elbow surgery. Being a two-way player in baseball takes a very big toll on your body, and not everyone can do it. It impacts your everyday life on a health standpoint, and on a talent standpoint, it's also not easy to do. Nothing is easy about playing two ways in the sport of baseball. But as I mentioned earlier, the Pirates have a young star in Paul Skenes, who is going to be called up sometime this season. Skenes originally played for the Air Force in 2021. When he was there, he was playing two ways. He was doing both at an extremely high level. He was a top pitcher and a massive threat with the bat, and in his very first season, he pitched 26 innings and had a .270 ERA. His bat, on the other hand, might have been even better than his pitching. In 188 at-bats, he had a .410 batting average and 11 home runs. This guy was gaining traction everywhere, with fans starting to nickname him the next Shohei Ohtani. Obviously, there's no next Ohtani. We know that. That's just something that is extremely unrealistic to even think about. The thing is, this guy is very talented. In his second year with Air Force, he had a .314 average and 14 home runs. He was not slowing down at all. In fact, he was only getting better. His pitching was also showing really good results, and this time he had 85 innings of work. And to go along with that, he had a .315 ERA. Anyone who watches baseball could tell you that there's a massive difference between college and MLB. We all know that. Nonetheless, the physical attributes that this guy has is simply unreal. They are clearly there if he wants to be a two-way player. Eventually, he did come to the conclusion that if he truly wanted to play in the majors, that he would have to go to a bigger school. So that is exactly what he ended up doing, and it was the right decision. He managed to transfer his way into LSU, and it ended up being great for his career, but in the end, they did not have Skenes in the batter box a single time. They had him pitch in 1 year at LSU, and he was clearly the best pitcher in college baseball. I would even go on to say that he was a generational style pitcher. This was the season that he got to pitch the most innings in his career ever, putting up 122 innings and a .169 ERA. As great as he was pitching, there was still one thing he missed. That feeling of getting into the batter's box and hitting a few baseballs here and there. Considering how talented he was as a hitter, you gotta imagine it hurt to fully give it up. Before he was drafted, he was conflicted on if he would be a two-way player or not. He knew that being a two-way player could cause health complications. He had done it previously during his time with Air Force, and he had no health complications. But professional baseball is a lot harder than college. He then went on to make the decision to specifically stick with pitching. He understood that his arm was generational and he did not want to risk an injury at all. He didn't want to risk an injury, I get it. He said that he's open to doing whatever helps the team win, as long as pitching comes first. This begs the question on if we could see Skenes DH for the Pirates in 2024. It's an interesting question overall. He said he missed hitting last year, but at the same time, it allowed him to focus on pitching more than anything. He said, "I want to hit for sure, but I want to win more than anything. I think the risk reward is pretty clear that the risk of going in midweek and taking an at-bat could hit me in the hand or something like that. It's just not worth it." That was kind of my mindset this year. I think it only increased as our season went along. So in his head, it's very clear that he is settled in with being a pitcher, and he would have no problem only pitching with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He does not want to risk an injury because he wants to help his team win. Understood. But he also said that he sees Shohei Ohtani doing it in the majors, so he knows that it's possible to do both. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of physical demand. The thing with Skenes is that he is a 6'6" monster. I mean, this guy is huge. He said because of how big that his body is, he does think that it could cause health complications. So we'll see. Ohtani's been able to do it at 6'4", but again, he has had Tommy John and an elbow surgery. The Pirates GM Ben Cherington has said to never bet against Paul Skenes being a two-way player. It isn't in the Pirates' focus to have him play two ways, but they acknowledge that he was once a great hitter with Air Force. What it sounds like to me based off of Skenes is that he would do it, but it would have to be a very convincing approach and a true plan for him to stay healthy. For Cherington, he wants to take a slower approach with Skenes in the developmental process. They do not want Skenes to be ruined as a prospect, and I get it completely. By no means does he want to rush him, and right now just wants to focus on the pitcher. Someday we could see Skenes take a DH role, but one thing at a time is the mindset right now. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys thought of this video, and peace out.